Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the next episode of the C podcast. And today we have Keren with us. Hello, Keren.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello,
hi, hi.
everybody.
Hi, everybody there from Keren. Keren, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. Keren, am I announcing your name right again? I'm really sorry. Keren, right? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
Keren.
All right. What does it mean? What does it mean?
It means light, ray of light.
Okay. Nice. Where are you from, Keren?
I'm from Nigeria.
Oh, Nigeria. We had couple of speakers from Nigeria before. How's Nigeria?
Nigeria is fine.
Right. All right.
Striving.
Perfect. So, Keren, before we dive into the topic that you have chosen for today, which is mental health well-being in young people and especially young girls, that is something we'd be talking about. But before that, I'd want to, know you, and our audience would be waiting to know you actually. So, could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Oh, okay, that's fine. My name is Keren Agbonika. I'm from Nigeria. I have my background, education in psychology. Yes, psychology interests me. The well-being of people, especially in the 21st century, interests me a lot. And aside from that, I run a small community of women, basically online, catering to their self-development as well as their mental health.
Okay, all right. And how long? When did you actually start? Getting into psychology? When did you wanted to actually begin? Yeah.
When I picked interest in psychology,
Yes.
years ago, pretty 5 years ago.
Okay.
So went to my degree, and then I started my community of young women earlier this year, basically in March of this year.
Right. And how's being a psychologist like?
Oh, it's an interesting thing because you get to know people better. You get to help people, live better lives. You get to help people know themselves better. You get to understand people. It's very practical and it's very interesting. There is more to it that we do not take advantage of as we should.
Right. So, Keren, thanks for introduction. It's really wonderful. I just, let's dive into the topic now. Since you have chosen, mental health well-being in young people, I just wanted to understand, why did you choose this topic? Is there any specific reason why you chose this particular topic, especially talking about young women?
Yes. I chose psychological well-being and specifically with young women, because one of the reasons is I have interest in young women, or let me just say women in general, but I choose to focus on younger women due to the culture, the society, so many things that women have to go through, ranging from discrimination, sexual assault, rape, and all of those other factors. They tend to affect the growth and the psychological well-being of these women. So that is why my interest is in young women for today. And even as an individual, I have an interest in young women. So that's basically it.
Right. Completely understand that. Again, you have mentioned about the problems and the difficulties and then discrimination that women face nowadays. So, is there any personal connection, Keren? Have you ever been in a place where you have thought that things have been unfair to you, on a personal level?
Can you repeat that, please?
Is there any chance? Did this ever happen to you? If at all you have been faced this, discrimination, or let's say, kind of mental health problems in terms personal level.
Yes. Well, not to a very large degree, not to an extreme level, but yes, in minute part of my day-to-day activities, getting to meet people. Yes, I face discrimination in a way. I face a certain I won't categorize it as minor, but it's any kind of sexual harassment. Yes, I do, but not to an extreme level. Right. So I can easily connect with women who go through this.
Right. And why do you think well-being is important for young people, especially young girls?
Yes.
No, I mean, why do you feel? I mean, why is well-being
Okay,
really
why do
important?
you feel? Well, I thought you said I do think, so I agreed with you. Okay,
Right,
why
right.
do I think it's important? Yes, it's very important because you see, most times when we say well-being, people think, oh, if I don't have an ailment, if I don't have a disease, then I'm fine. But well-being is more than that. There are different other components of well-being, ranging from your personal growth, your environmental mastery, your self-acceptance, your self-independence. All these things make up the component of the psychological well-being. And sometimes when they are lacking in an individual, they will not be able to point back to what is causing the problem. Somebody might be depressed, somebody might just be feeling cast down, moody, but at the same time cannot even say what exactly is causing the problem. So, this well-being is important because when you can create awareness about these factors, when you can make these young women see that, okay, these are important factors they need to consider in concise with their well-being, they will be able to improve themselves on these factors. And of course, I personally believe that everything we do in life is based on our well-being, because if we are not well, we can't really perform, excellently. We can fit into society, we can contribute to the society. So I think that well-being is the basis of every other.
Right, right, right. And how do we do that? I mean, how do we do that? How exactly can we go to the make sure that the well-being of young girls is preserved?
Okay, so I would just I would speak as though I'm speaking to young women. Okay, so I will speak as though I know just young women are hearing me. I think that there are quite a number of factors that you could consider, but I'll be taking just 6 factors for your psychological well-being as a woman. We'll be going randomly and then using daily examples. So we could talk about personal growth. Do you understand? So now, with personal growth, you have to ensure that every day you're improving, you're growing, you're developing yourself. Because if you cannot do that, you'll begin to feel left out of the society. You'll begin to feel like you cannot keep up. You begin to feel like you do not fit because you lack certain kind of skills and certain kind of relevant skills that are needed. So that's why, and then when you begin to feel like you lack, your self-esteem begins to get affected by this. So this is one factor to be able to improve your well-being. You have to continuously improve yourself, your personal growth. And okay, another factor I would also like to consider is purpose. I was doing my research and I discovered that there's a lot we have to do when it comes to purpose, because when you feel as though your life is meaningless, you do not have a cause center, you do not have something to look forward to, you do not have something that makes you eager to work, you begin to feel dissatisfied. This also is one of the situations, one of the conditions for depression, because sometimes people feel like they don't even know why they are living. I mean, why am I here? Do you understand? So when we can discover, when young women can begin to discover their purpose, it gives them a more reason to want to go forward in life every single day.
Right. And Karen, again, there are lots of problems. Again, we can't just pinpoint when it comes to well-being. But how can someone actually take care of their mental health? Especially young women. How can they do that?
Okay. Well, the first thing I would say is self-acceptance. Self-acceptance is really important, because you have to learn to accept yourself. There are things that you have as strengths, there are things that you have as weaknesses. And when you begin to focus on, okay, what I don't have and what I don't have, what I lack, and you just try to push yourself and try to go the wrong way just to get that which you think you do not have, you lose out on what you have. So the first basis for me is self-accept. The things that you realize that you cannot do much about, you accept. Then I also like to talk on mindfulness. It's an important thing, because it feels as though we're so in a hurry. We're so in a hurry. And when you're so in a hurry, you begin to miss out on the present moment. You begin to feel anxious, which can also lead to anxiety because you feel like you're not catching up. It's moving so fast. So I suggest a form of mindfulness. Mindfulness is basically focusing on who you are, what you were doing at a particular time. So as I'm here with you, talking to you, that is where my mind is. My mind is with you. My mind is this discussion we are having. I'm not thinking of what I'm going to do tonight, how I'm going to meet up the meeting tomorrow. So this is it. It's just basically one day at a time. We put ourselves into it. This will help reduce the level of anxiousness that these young women tend to feel. So that's another point. Then I would also like to, this is also another point, join communities. Join communities. We as human beings, we tend to have a sense of belonging. Naturally want to belong. Is that to the family, to the school, churches, mosques, religious centers, we want to belong. When you feel like you belong somewhere, it heightens your sense of self-esteem. So don't do that so personalized, only me thing. You have to come out and socialize with people. When you come out and socialize with people who will give you the positive energy, who will help you. You begin to realize that self-isolation, you no longer have to do with self-isolation. You can see what you're doing in society. So,
right.
You want to keep talking
Keren,
talking?
no worries. So Keren, in this fast-growing world right now, as you can see, the world is moving very fast. And what do you think are the biggest challenges for well-being of young women as of now in the current generation? What are the biggest challenges?
What are the biggest challenges?
Yeah. I mean, the technology, everything is, fast paced, and I'm sure, there are lots of inputs that we get. So what do you think are the challenges that young women face, in terms of mental health? Because, we have heard cases of suicides, depression, and, many other cases, but more in women most of the times. So, yeah, how do we do that? How do we go, and what are the exact problems that we'll have to pinpoint and find answers for?
Okay, I'll pick a few. I think that one of the challenges that women might face, that some women are facing, is a form of readjustment to the new trends. For instance, you've been used to a certain way, being told how to do this and what to do, being put in a certain mold. You understand? Now, it's sort of easier to begin to walk inside that mindset. That's why I said readjustment, because the times are changing, the trends are changing. So one of these challenges is a way to readjust into the present time, is a way to let go of every mindset that might just seem as though maybe any form of inferiority mindset. Do you understand? And let yourself fly. And we see tech. Well, we've seen involvement of girls in tech. Since you mentioned that, I think that any girl who is listening to this, or any young woman is listening to this, you must understand that you are capable, and that if you put your mind to something, you can definitely do it. And you can as well go into tech. There are a lot of women who are prospering in tech. You can go into tech and do marvelously well.
Right. Interesting. And talking about, body positivity, Karen, nowadays, social media, and it's been widely used, and people are on social media, and they actually, search a lot. They go through here and there. And I think there's lots of cases where we see, there's higher expectations from their own body. They get to be depressed, they feel sad, when they look at some certain people. So, so what do we do about that? I think that's one of the biggest issue that we face nowadays, because social media toxicity is real. And how do we counter that? How do we help young girls, especially in order to keep their well-being proper?
Yeah, that's actually a very good question, because we see that there is now a perceived perfect. I call it perfect, more perfect type of body size. You understand? And subconsciously, this young woman will want to fit into that picture. When it comes to dealing with problems, okay, for this stereotype that has already been created, we cannot say we can accurately chase it away or do away with it. It can still be recurring. I think the focus we have now is to empower these young girls to not get carried away by this thing, because social media is going to be here for a long, long time. So my advice is to say, that's why I talked about self-acceptance. You must accept yourself. When you do not believe that you are beautiful the way you are, that you have to add this here and add this here, this leads to you going under the knife and getting all those things done. And the funny thing about this is this, sometimes people still do those things, but inside they still they don't feel confident enough. So that's why I like to say it starts from the inside. It really starts from the inside. So young women who begin to aspire to look this way and begin to look that way, my advice is you must learn to accept yourself the way you are, because social media is going to be here. I don't know how we're going to chase it away. So you must learn to accept yourself the way you are. So people like to call it a form of body positivity. Now, I'm not in the category of people who say, oh, you just have to accept the way I am and then relax. If you feel like you can improve yourself, maybe by exercising, get healthy, eat well, I will naturally advise that you eat well, you exercise, but then it's not something you get depressed over. That's what I say.
Right. Thanks, Keren. Keren, last time I had a conversation with one of our guests as well, where we talked about, where we spoke about, perinatal depression. But in the same way, I just wanted to shed lights on, women or young girls who actually hit puberty. As soon as a young girl hits puberty, there are lots of changes goes on, right? The character. I mean, there are lots of changes, that happens, and sometimes it's really hard for young women to keep themselves at peace, or to have their well-being proper, especially when we talk about mental health. So how exactly can a woman a girl then can keep her mental health well in that phase where things are very different, it's very new, and it's very hard for them to cope up as well?
That stage is vital stage, and the first thing I would do is, sometimes we cannot do it alone. That's why we advise parental guidance. So a girl who is new into that stage, I think the first thing is to ensure that she has a backing. It must not necessarily be a parent. It could be a sibling. It could be an older friend. This way, because she's new to this thing, it's difficult for her to perhaps just transition by herself. She would need guidance. So that's the first thing I'm going to answer to your question. So as parents, as elder siblings, we need to do better by these young girls who are just entering puberty. We need to educate them. We need to provide counsel to them. We need to school them. Do you understand? So that's the basis of this thing. Yeah.
Right, Keren. Keren, how do we holistically, make sure that their well-being is good? I mean, are there any kind of initiatives that we might be taking, that we can take probably, or how exactly can we ensure, especially in young girls, we can make sure that their well-being is good enough?
Well, this for one is a nice initiative, this podcast. So I would say well done to you and your organizers. People cannot know unless you tell them, unless they are taught.
Right.
So the first thing is getting the word out there. We need to get the word out there, and it's not a temporary thing. It has to be consistently. We keep hitting it, because there is a form of learning that takes place to repetition. You can hear something the first time, but it won't really sink. But by the time you have to keep hearing it over and over again, seeing it over and over again, it will begin to sink. So this is a collective effort of a lot of people, of schools, of organizations, both non-governmental and governmental organizations, a collective effort. And I I also think that, a lot of people are contributing. Yes, so I must acknowledge that a lot of people are also contributing to the well-being of young girls, but we must continue. We must not relent. We must come to the aid of our young girls, and we must see that, they are striving continuously in this daily time. So that's just it.
Right, Keren. So Keren, now tell me, I mean, what's your your ultimate goal, as a psychologist, what do you want to achieve in this field?
You have to repeat that. It broke. I didn't hear you.
I mean, in terms of mental health, since you're a psychologist, what would be your biggest goal, or something that you'd want to achieve in this field?
Oh yeah, I still intend to further, get more expertise knowledge, because knowledge is important. Get more expertise knowledge, get more hands-on experience. But for me as a psychologist, let's say an aiming psychologist, I aim to cater for the well-being, be a safe place for these women to be able to open up about their personal challenges, about their personal difficulties, and be able to provide the right counsel, be able to provide the right counsel, the right therapy that could help them overcome all these issues and challenges that they have to go through. And in most situations, we see that most of them are quiet about it. They don't come out to speak up. So we provide more safe places for these women to talk about what they face, the better for everyone.
Right. And what are your hobbies, Keren? I mean, just to end the podcast, I just wanted to know, what are your hobbies other than psychology?
Okay. First thing, I read a lot.
Okay.
I read a lot. I tend to read a lot, but I'm also very selective about my books. I don't read every book because I care about easily. And if the book is not captivating me, I might just close it. So yes. So I read a lot. I also write. I work on writing. What else? I'm trying to look for a fun hobby, nothing too serious. Let me see. Okay, once in a while I play snooker.
Okay. All right. What was the last book that you might have read, Keren?
The last book that I might have read. I actually reread. No, the last book I read was Ikajia, The Secret to Living a Happy and Fulfilling Life. It was written by Japanese author. I think you might have heard of it.
Oh, right. Cool. Any advice, any tips you'd want to give to our young girls, to our young audience?
Definitely. Okay, wherever you, this is universal. It doesn't matter where you're from or where you might be listening from. You must believe in yourself. Napoli, in his book, he wrote that the first thing is you must think that you can. If you feel like you're gonna fail, there's a higher chance of you failing at it. So you must believe that you can. You must believe that you're gonna succeed. You must believe that you are capable. You must believe that you have what it takes. You must have that faith in yourself. You must have that strength in yourself. That is the basic. It doesn't matter what you might have heard, what someone might have told you. Just block your ears to all of that and focus on what you have and what you can do. I do not believe that, and if anybody's empty, I believe that we have something to offer each of us as individuals. So you must believe that you have something to offer. And then you just go and see it, trying to offer that which you want to offer. When you begin to do that, you begin to feel fulfilled. There's this sense of happiness that just eludes around you. And it's just...
Right. Well, thanks, Keren. Thanks for joining us. I think it has been a wonderful session. And I think you yourself are a very happy girl. Woman, I don't know how it's here. So yeah, I just keep it girl there. And I hope you achieve your dreams. I hope you study more, you get lots of more expertise and help people as much as possible. And we'll be there in touch. You can let us know your progress to share, and should let me know as well. All right.
All right. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Keren. Thanks for your time.
Oh, I enjoyed this section a lot, and you as well, you're friendly. So
I know,
thank
right?
you for making it fun for me. Thank
Yeah.
you. And to the organizers of this podcast, I say a very big thank you for this initiative, for making effort to get the word out there. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you.